Hello, friends, and welcome to our Sunday services. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and click to subscribe so that you get notifications when we have new videos or go live. If you are with us on Zoom, say hello in the chat. We'd love to say hello back. Welcome. Today's sermon is Hearthstones and Hope with Beth Ferree. Yeah, I love Beth's sermons. All right, announcements. Workday Wednesday and Saturday is back 10 to 2 both days. We are doing some planting this week, trying to get things ready for our reopening. So if you can help, please do either show up and help. Let Rebecca know if you know you're going to be there and she'll put you to work, or just show up. And also, if you have any drought-tolerant plants you'd like to donate, please do that too. We're trying to pretty up those grounds. All right, we have a new pastoral counseling team, Donna Leach, Alice Kinsey, and Beth Ferree. They are there if you need them. All amazing, wonderful women who are there to help if you need it, but they would love to add a Spanish speaker to their team. So if you need assistance from them or to join their awesome group, email pastoralcare@oakcliffuu.org. All right, everyone, we have a lot of stuff going on or in the works at our church. To keep up to date with all of them, check out our website, or you know what I'm going to say, read the e-blast. The e-blast is your weekly source for all things newsworthy at UUCOC. So if you haven't yet, check this week's email for info on our parish meeting, church reopening, general assembly, the worship ministry, hopeful hearts, widening the circle of concern, a moment of early UUCOC history. I think I lost track there in the middle. From Beth, she does these great videos every week. So find that and more. There's a lot of stuff in the e-blast because we have a lot going on. If you haven't subscribed yet, go do it so that you can be in the know too. Go to our website and type your email address in there. All right, outside of Sunday services, we have Talk Back every week at 11:15. If you've never been, please join us. It is a wonderful chance to join a community and talk about the topic. You always leave with new perspectives and things to think about. We also have Adult RE every Sunday at 1 o'clock, but not today. We are taking a small break. And our UUCOC social hour twice a week, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and Fridays at 9 p.m. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please sign our guest book at oakcliffuu.org/guest. We'd love to know that you were here. All right, y'all. Member anniversaries. This one's nuts. Why? Because we got five member anniversaries all on the same date, different years, same date. So I'm guessing that April 17th is just a lucky day. Lucky for us because we have these wonderful members. All right, we're just going to go through real quick. All right. Everybody, get ready to say happy anniversary to Rachel and Stephen Betson, Alice Kinsey, Jim Ward, and Roxanne Ward. That's so many people, and such wonderful people too. Happy anniversary to you all, and to everybody else, happy Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff. Thank you for having the curiosity and the courage to join us. We welcome you, whoever you are, whatever spiritual tradition, gender, age, race, sexual orientation, or background you may bring to our community. We hope you will find here comfort, connection, challenge, respect, and above all, love.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
Que esta luz que ahora encendemos nos inspire a usar nuestros dones y poderes para sanar y no para herir, para ayudar y no para impedir, para bendecir y no para maldecir, para servirte a ti, espíritu de amor, compasión y perdón.
Committed to Respond by Lynn Harrison. An arc of Earth's surface, blue oceans and swirling white clouds taken from space, committed to respond to the call of a wounded world. We join together this day with loving hearts, hands, and minds. Embracing the interconnected web of water, air, and earth, we light a fire of sustaining hope, ever bright with love and justice. May we bring forth this day new wisdom, strength, and courage to create not a world of wealth, but of well-being, a world of new peace and abundance for all. As we give thanks for this earth, our shared and singular home, may we dedicate ourselves to its ongoing care, rising to the calls deep within us and all around us. May we respond today and always with courage and with love.
Love will guide us, peace has stride us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has stride us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Please join your voice to mine in affirming our congregation's spiritual covenant. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance and service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together.
And now in Spanish. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y aceptación, así que hacemos pacto.
You are not alone with your sorrow, just as I am not alone with mine. Our covenant of right relations makes this so. You and I are bound by our promise to commune. In community, the burden of a heavy heart is shared. A burden shared is a burden lightened. At this time, we invite you to publicly post your sorrows and prayer requests to the Zoom chat or to send them to our Facebook Messenger.
When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
This Sunday, like every Sunday, we reaffirm our promise to one another. Our promise makes clear the call to celebrate. For that which brings you joy, makes you grateful, brings you peace. We, your sacred community, celebrate. We celebrate together and magnify joy, heighten gratitude, and spread ever-increasing peace. At this time, we invite you to publicly post your joys and prayer requests to the Zoom chat or send them to our Facebook Messenger.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stems of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
As you know, in anticipation of the celebration of our 60th anniversary, we have been looking back at the history of our church. But today, in honor of and respect for Earth Day, we take a little side trip to talk about our grounds. The founders of this church were seriously committed to caring for the earth. They were sometimes lovingly referred to as tree huggers. There were many very animated discussions at board and parish meetings about the care of the beautiful trees and shrubs on our grounds. We have actively supported and participated in community-sponsored Earth Day activities and will do so again when they can resume. In addition to the obvious Mary's Garden gazebos supported and funded by member Mary Leggett, several trees and other sites commemorate individuals. To the left of Faith Entrance is a magnolia tree, planted shortly after we bought the property in memory of S. Gus Alexander Jr., the husband of Kathy Loper Alexander, who was killed in combat in Vietnam. To the right of the Faith Entrance is a tree planted in 1983 for Bobby Vaughn, a popular teacher of our teens. In the area between the west parking lot and Faith is a post oak tree titled Founders Oak, which was dedicated to our charter members in 2003 and replaced several trees taken down in a severe windstorm. As you walk to the labyrinth, there is a small Texas whitebud tree planted in memory of Georgie Phillips, a faithful and generous member. For many years, Harry Jones cut, maintained, and mapped trails throughout the nearly 5 acres of our grove. In addition to the labyrinth, there was also a lovely fire pit, tended by the Clips and used on Halloween and for other evening events. In the 90s, Glenda Bradner honored her Native American roots by making it possible for some Lakota Indians to build a sweat lodge on our property. It was temporarily put up for healing ceremonies whenever a Native American dignitary came to the area. Later, Bernand Ice and Uglas Sioux from Pine Ridge conducted several ceremonies on our grounds. Designated a memorial garden, the ashes of many, many members and friends of this congregation are scattered on our grounds, making them even more sacred to us and supporting the feelings of connectedness we get from being here. Stay tuned and for next week's dramatic moment as we continue our memory trail to the celebration of the 60th anniversary of this fellowship and church. It's been over a year since I last spoke on this topic. In that time, we have experienced some life-changing events that have brought us all to the realization that life cannot go on as it was. Just as happened after every pandemic in the history of man, we now have been given an opportunity to take what we've learned over the almost past year and a half and discover a new normal. While some consider the time of reopening a fearful and anxious time, it can also be a gift and a transition to something even better than the life we lived before. The 1920s brought us the Jazz Age and the shedding of the Victorian era. What will we shed in the 2020s and beyond? We've already decided to give up on going back to an in-person service and take on the opportunity to live stream so we can continue to minister to those who have been joining us online from other parts of the United States. We learned our church is so much more than a building and grounds. It is the people, and it's the way in which we reach out beyond the almost 5 acres of the land we own. How can we continue this momentum while still honoring the land our founders worked so hard to purchase and care for? In what way can we bring the 7 principles to the community? When we first brought up the idea of building small homes on our land, we still had a lot of unanswered questions. Well, I can give you a clearer idea of what our team is proposing. I have no doubt there will still be questions and concerns to be considered as we move forward. I hope this is an opportunity for us to clarify and discuss options we have not yet looked at. Currently, the members of the housing team from our church are Carol Dingley, Alice Kinsey, Nancy Harms, and me. Anyone who wishes to join us is welcome. This past week, a proposal went out to MTech, and we expect others from around the cluster to join as well. Before we were waylaid by the pandemic, we had talked to the neighbors behind us and discovered there is a good deal of support for the idea, as long as we can maintain the wooded areas and define the population we are serving. Soon we will go back to that area and reach out to the other neighbors to update them on our progress so we can get more feedback. The feedback from them, as well as you, will determine how we proceed with the proposal. Before we were so rudely interrupted by circumstances, we were having difficulty determining our target population because there are so many options and possibilities. One of the biggest determiners of our decision was the reality that our grounds are currently nestled in a family neighborhood where a housed population of the seriously mentally ill could be problematic. We needed a plan that would address as many issues as possible, maintain our UU values, and one that would fit with the widening circle of concern Renee is currently leading discussions on. So this is what we came up with. During the period in which the population was largely sequestered, we learned a few things that were not clear prior to March of 2020. COVID took thousands of lives through the deaths of those who contracted it, but it also took a huge toll on those who survived. Suddenly, so many survivors were reporting symptoms like those of chronic fatigue syndrome, such as long-standing fatigue that does not get better with rest, undefined body pain, and a brain fog that makes thinking more challenging. As someone who has had CFS for years, I can tell you this is not something that's going to resolve in a short time without a significant amount of research into immune disorders, and that should have been done decades ago. Long haul COVID will leave behind a wake of many more people applying for disability because it simply isn't an option to work full time and take care of yourself. It can take many years to even get to a point of being functional after adjusting and adapting to memory changes and a host of other symptoms most people simply cannot fathom living with. But there is hope. It is possible to work on a limited basis and learn to change your life to adapt with support and training. COVID also taught us that working from home has always been an option, and corporations will be forced to adapt their own business practices eventually. As such, the housing team agreed that we would focus on creating a community for those on SSI, SSDI, and veterans benefits. These groups would be able to pay a small amount in rent to keep us solvent and be able to participate in activities. We could possibly partner with agencies such as vocational rehabilitation to find work or contracts that would allow those interested to earn additional income. For those who do not wish to go back into the working pool, but can provide part-time or full-time effort, we could set up an area for a food bank, clothing closet, and the residents could be trained to work with the homeless in the area. We could bring in social workers and others to train them to help with filling out forms for assistance, help with phone calls, and by providing mailboxes, help with the homeless to provide an address that is necessary for getting assistance. We could also find ways to augment the income of the people who are doing this. Why are we providing services for the homeless? At least a few times a month, we currently have a homeless person showing up at the church seeking help of some sort. There are 2 tent communities within half a mile of the church, including one on the land next door. These are communities that have been there for at least a year and have established relationships. While we can't house them all, we can provide what they need to get housing, food stamps, and disability or other benefits. Eventually, they may be able to move on to their own homes. As I was reaching out, researching the potentials of this program, I was contacted by a couple in Northern Illinois who wished to reserve one of the homes as soon as we get that far. This couple are UUs and are very invested in environmental justice. I was given the name of a scientist in this area who is currently doing research into how long-haul COVID, CFS, and other immune disorders are resulting in deaths because we are more sensitive to environmental damage. In some cases, such as in the veteran community, it can be caused by environmental damage. I hope to reach out soon to see how we might consult. Might there be a possibility for us to create our own beloved community of UUs right here on our grounds while still providing services to our community? Given that the larger purpose in this community is to address economic injustice, it would fit perfectly with the widening of circle of concern report by addressing one of the most essential reasons we still have racism today, given that economic injustice affects those in the Native American, Black, and Hispanic populations disproportionately. Economic injustice is also responsible for keeping the disabled from realizing self-actualization, which Maslow referred to in his writings. Eventually, it would provide us with the funds we need to hire a full-time minister, and it would be a beloved community that would show the UUA that we can lead the way for UUs everywhere. It's also very possible we'll find a minister with whom this project resonates and has specific training in social justice. This would give us the opportunity to provide adequate advocacy training to those who are using our services so they could learn to speak up for themselves and learn ways in which to get the laws changed. Rather than following the crowd in activism, we could become the leaders. The houses themselves are currently estimated to cost approximately $60,000 apiece, or 140 square feet, 200 square feet. That would include everything needed to make it livable. That's largely because the cost of living and materials have gone up with the pandemic. But if we were to build quadlets, or 4 joining together with shared walls, we could bring that cost down. Also, doing a quadlet would allow each resident to paint their dwelling and plant landscape around it according to their individual tastes, avoiding a cookie cutter look. It would also be possible to bring the cost down by partnering with carpenters and other nonprofits such as Habitats for Humanity. Although it would be possible to find grants through HUD and government funding, making it a solely UU community might make that more challenging. But we'll never know unless we try. I very much believe that if this is meant to be, the money will be there to make it happen. At this point in the process, we are still a ways from making it all happen. Currently, we are working on getting a nonprofit corporation started called Hearthstones and Hope. Part of that process is finding board members to help oversee it. We're getting there, but we still need 1 or 2. We are creating a separate nonprofit because this would benefit both entities and give Hearthstones and Hope the ability to expand, purchase other land, and start their own pilot program. I'm aware all this sounds very idealistic right now. Anything worth pursuing is built from a dream and the belief in the possibility. We plan to keep you updated on the progress of the project and will likely have something for the church to consider at the fall parish meeting to ask for the availability of our grants. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we're there, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope. For we are now the keepers of the dream. To make an offering or your pledge, please go to oakcliffuu.org/donate and follow the links.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy.
Loving and Responsible Action by Robert F. Kaufman. We have come together to share our deepest concerns, speaking and singing words of inspiration and hope. We have committed ourselves to do what we can to ease the burdens of those who suffer, to stand for decency and compassion. We have pledged to work for a more wholesome environment for us and for all the generations that we know. But these are just words. The hymns we sing are just songs. All our reflections are just idle thoughts. When we convert them into loving and responsible action throughout the week, then and only then will this morning become what we want it to be, a time of worship.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now in Spanish. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. is our cry.